What is up, everybody? This is an Ask Me Anything kickback, just hanging out live stream with my guy, Randy, owner, CEO, general operator of Obsidian Tactics. You can see a little QR code on the screen if you're watching on a platform that has video, and you can hop into his website and check him out. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't see it as a problem and decide to dismantle everything I built here because I'm linking directly to a site that sells things that they're not into. But it's a risk I'm willing to take to support my guy who's been a huge supporter of what we do here. So, guys, thank you so much for supporting us and being here. For those who are live, let's see if we can see if anybody's here, anybody's talking to us, because we're just going to talk. And of course, if you guys have questions, we're going to jump in and try to answer it to the best of our ability, or at least
Gonna
like
try.
close to the best of our abilities. 125%, right?
115. Let's not push it.
115, yeah, because you stress the system out, and then what do you have left? But what's been going on with you, man? How's your day? You been working?
I seem to never be able to stop working these days, so But today's been pretty
Yeah.
been pretty good. Kind of looking forward to a light day tomorrow and a day of training on the range on Saturday. So try and get ready for
Okay.
that.
Well, I know you've been doing some range training, or you did a few courses recently. Who did you go to see? Help me remember.
Ben Stager and Joel Park drove out to Austin and spent 2 days and 1,200 rounds shooting my carry gun with those two dudes. Uh, Kind of interesting experience.
I mean, sounds like a good time. Oh man. So I just got an error code saying that we're not live on Instagram, which I guess is fine, but it breaks my heart.
Breaks mine
And
too. I know.
I see there's somebody live with us in the locals community. So if you just want to say hello, let me know who you are, what you're up to. Would love to say hi back, of course. Guys, we are taking your questions here. So make sure you just drop them in whenever you have a thought, question. I see DJ Play Nice posted something a little bit earlier in the day talking about he was looking
Yeah.
forward to the show. I'm glad.
Yeah. The more ridiculous question, probably the better. Let's make it
Right.
spicy. Make it a good one.
Right. If not, we're going to have to resort to watching Grand Thumb videos and critiquing his editing styles.
Oh yeah, let's get into the Grand Thumb video.
Right.
See last about the PSA.
Oh, yes, bro. So that I haven't been watching a lot of Grand Thumb videos, but that video, that was good. Like,
I thought so too. That was pretty interesting and brought some probably some much needed perspective to PSA and their products. Yeah.
well, not only that, but or guns in general, especially ARs, and like, because we've been living in a world where some people will buy the PSAs and people will take a dump on the PSA. Other people will buy a Knight's armament. Other people will buy, name a $6,000 AR-15. And the question is, at what price, or what price is required to get a good one that really, will work and function, and first of all, shoot well. I know you designed, or you had a design that you were selling for a little bit, but beyond just the putting together great parts and design, getting a build out, the
Yeah.
manufacturing process. Can you manufacture an AR-15 that can, stand up if you had to fight for a month?
Yeah. That's kind of an interesting point though, because there's a minimum standard for AR-15s. It's the military specification M4. So for me, that's kind of my floor when it comes to rifles is going to
Hmm.
have to be, a 4150 chromoly vanadium. It's going to need to be chrome lined barrel. Just going to have an H1 buffer minimum, preferably an H2.
Right.
Um, these kind of things, specifications for me matter more than like a brand or marketing. Um, but for me personally, like PSA, they just don't meet that standard in a lot of those cases. They kind of do some things that um, make the rifle less expensive, but also at the cost of longevity and in some cases function.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you actually watched that Grand Thumb video, I think it's probably a testament to how much slop you can build into the AR platform and still have it run relatively okay.
Right, and that's the question of like, at where can you cut the corners, and get your cheaper product? Because there's a guy who, and he's not the first one who's done it, has built an entirely polymer AR-15. The only parts that are like a metal are the parts that absolutely require it due to the pressures. And it's like, well, that's crazy. To me, that's crazy, right? But to
Yeah.
him, he won't run any other AR-15 because it's just so much lighter. And I'm like, dang. For those who are very concerned about weight, there's two types of people. People who are prepping, they're very concerned about what kind of weight they're strapping onto themselves, and then also people who are slight of frame, smaller guys, ladies, those who don't have, or guys who don't have a lot of upper body strength. I'll just put it like that because there's small guys who are, diesely as heck, right? Randy,
Hey,
and
I've been that dude, man. Like 3 days of CQB, holding a rifle up.
right,
It'll be like, hey, get in the gym, bro. Like, and I definitely took that to heart.
right. And we actually got a few comments that just popped up. Let me just go ahead and add them to the stream. So,
Yeah, sure.
let me see how I want to do this because there's a few ways. Can I make this bigger? I'm not sure I can. All right, let me see.
All right. Is that PSA good, but the higher price is a lower point of failure?
Oh my gosh, bro, I'm
What are
struggling.
you doing, Aaron? Struggle bus over here.
Yeah, come on, you can do this. You can do
You
this.
got it, brother. You got it.
When we do things vertically, it changes. Oh my gosh. All right, PSA is good, but the higher price is lower. What did he say?
Lower,
Something else?
kind of like lower point of failure.
Oh yeah, he said lower point of failure. It got cut out because yep, here it is. Lower point
Yeah,
of failure. Wow, that was nutty. Let me see if
that
I
was
can
way
make some
harder than it
changes.
needed to be, man.
Right. It's like I should have tested that before we went live. Um,
Yeah, but I agree with that sentiment. PSA, they target a certain demographic,
mhm.
um, and if it gets rifles that they handle people that wouldn't be able to afford a better gun, um,
That.
I'm okay with that. Just it comes with some caveats, right? Because in that test I did in the Grand Thumb video, basically the barrel opened up groups significantly to the point past what would be acceptable for military and for, and
Hmm.
even that specification is not exactly super accurate. So like to my 3 to 4 MOA,
Hmm.
um, and they basically the barrel got there in I don't know 5,500 6,000 rounds.
What's
Just for,
they say that, oh my gosh, I'm confusing my thing. But do your groups get tighter or wider as the gun heats up generally?
generally they'll get wider,
Okay.
but they were
I'm
just
wondering if it had anything to do with having run it for forever, 3,000 rounds in, 1,500 rounds in, suppressed. We're asking for real wear and tear, full auto.
yeah. I would assume it's probably just tearing up the throat of the barrel.
Hmm.
Because again, you're missing some things with that. You're getting uh, a nitride in barrel, typically speaking, which doesn't have the chrome lining to be worn through before it starts really wearing into the actual substrate material, the actual steel of the barrel,
Hmm.
which that greatly affects accuracy once that starts wearing out. Um, I guess it's good for certain people, depending on your firing schedule, how much you actually shoot. For some people, the barrel starts, opening up significantly at 6,000 rounds. That could be, 3 to 6 months of shooting, depending on how much you're on the range. So, but if you're the kind of guy that like, oh, I have 3,000 rounds to my rifle, and then like I ask you like, well, how long have you had it? Like, oh, I've had it for 5 years. Like, okay, well, you're gonna probably last a lot longer than like if you're. shooting 1,200
Right.
rounds in 2 days, like I just got done doing.
Right. I mean, that's first of all, that's an expensive life. 1,200 rounds in 2 days. My goodness. I
Hey,
don't
it's a
want to
write
think
off, buddy.
it. It is. It is. But I need that money now. I don't want to think about it come tax time. My
No,
gosh.
facts.
Yeah. But so the PSA rifle, and at some point I'm going to pull up that video and we can watch it and, you know, actually reference, those groups opening up. At least I think I will. Maybe I won't. Surprise,
Hey, you
surprise.
you do you, buddy. Surprise,
Right.
surprise. We're hanging out here. There's no agenda today.
Right. We're just doing our thing. And so I suppose my thought process is, okay, so if you just wanted to get a rifle and you're concerned, and here's the thing, right? You can buy a crappy rifle and make it a better rifle. As long as the lower is really, really solid, you're, to me, that's kind of where you start. Although maybe you don't want to spend $1,500 on a really, really bad rifle and then have to put another $1,500 into it to make it a good rifle. You know what I mean? Or you could just
Yeah,
buy the
that's the
good one to
that's
begin
the
with.
that's the really like long way around to do that. I understand people kind of get sticker shock,
Hmm.
but it never made sense to me that like, oh, I don't have the money to do it right the first time, but I have money to do it over again later down the line. That kind of never really made a whole lot of
Well,
sense to me.
hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm here, I'm
What do
listening.
you think on that gun was mainly the failure points? The bolt kind of went out rather quickly, in my opinion. Um, as in I think he tried to balance it and it fell right over. Versus the other bolt that he pulled out for the bolt carrier group, and then it seemed like the barrel was producing something that just wasn't quite, like you said, acceptable. Nitridated versus chrome. Uh, do you think, okay, well, you buy your $300 gun, you try to practice, you try to train, and as you figure out what you want, maybe you want that. What's somebody said? Proof Research has a barrel that a lot of people really, really like. And you save it for your Proof
Yeah,
Research
yeah,
barrel and you
those are
slap it
super
in there.
accurate, like more like more accuracy intended barrels. They're
Hmm.
mostly stainless steel. Um, I don't know that that would have lasted on that kind of firing schedule in full auto either. But then again,
Right.
it's not intended for that purpose. So
Hmm. It's guys who want to, I guess, do some competition type stuff. They can change their parts out from time to time, and that's kind of where I am with, people talk about CZs and was it the PL1 has kind of a weird trigger where after like 6,000 strikes, your spring is gonna go out. Like whether
yeah,
it's dry fire or live fire, your spring's gonna break. So just kind of be aware. I'm like, why would you feel comfortable carrying that gun, knowing that it's gonna break and it's gonna break? It's not like, oh, yeah, it's not quite right. No, it's
yeah,
gone.
yeah. It's gonna snap. It's not gonna be like, oh, well, it didn't reset, but I can cycle it myself. Like, no,
Right.
it's gonna break,
Yeah.
inoperable. Um, but yeah, I don't know why they would choose to put that type of spring in that type of firearm. Because I mean, PO1s are not exactly like super high end competition kind of guns.
I don't understand. I don't know. And so even with the Shadow 2, I think there's a few parts in there. I'm not sure what spring or whatever, but people have said like, hey, you do need to make sure you watch the maintenance schedule on the Shadow 2s. How much do they go for? Like $2,000, 15?
Yeah, north of 12, depending on which model you get.
Right.
But those are basic competition guns. So, I mean, they're marketed as such, so I can
Hmm.
give them a little bit of leeway. I
Right.
mean, you don't go out and buy a Ferrari and then drive it to the grocery store every day. Like, you got to change the tires, rotate them, and change the
Hmm.
oil, and get the special Ferrari blend. Cheryl or whatever it is put in there. So it comes with that purchase. I would think. If you're
Right.
going to get a
It
high
comes with the
performance,
territory.
yeah,
Yeah.
got to pay to play.
So I can understand that. However, you know, we're looking at, I mean, going back to the AR question, can we build an AR-15 for how much was that? 300-400 bucks, and
I
then
don't know the
find the
cost of
failure
it. I
points.
think the upper was like maybe $300. I don't
Okay, so
know.
it was
They
it
they
was like
they
a
had their
build
own
kit.
lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a $300 upper. Although you had an upper that was pretty much done, that you sold for like 600 or 650.
Oh, we did too much stuff to that upper. We had it Cerakoted and fitted
Right.
in
I
welds, so like
mean,
it adds a
but
bunch
you
of
could
cost
cut the
to it. But
price down a little bit if
yeah,
you maybe avoided some of the fun stuff like the Cerakote job. Um, how much do you think it really costs to build an upper that's built to last? And as long as you take care of it, it'll run like a tank and shoot groups. You know.
like an upper probably including a bulk carrier group, you can probably get done for like definitely under seven. Yeah, if you want to be kind of budget oriented with it, maybe around 550 or so. If you don't want like a super dope hand guard, all that kind of cool stuff.
Right.
Um, but
Yeah.
that's something like that's like retail cost of something that I would probably trust to run, on the long term basis. That I have high confidence that wouldn't be breaking down on me.
I'm gonna try to pull something up because I know Smith and Wesson. They just did something cool, or they're continuing what they've been doing with their sport, and I think they finally upgraded it because before it was kind of ugly. That's the reason I didn't get it when I was picking up my first gun. Or AR rather. I
Yeah,
was like,
it's
damn,
just data configuration that they probably needed to do some updating and more modernizing it. I guess
yeah,
there's kind of a meta when it comes to ARs right now. So if you're not running like a full length M block, slimline handguard with a low profile gas block and a mid length gas system, it's
hmm,
kind of like, oh well, what are you doing? Like this is kind of just what people
yeah,
envision of a modern AR these days.
right. And so like I get that. Like I get the question of like, like what the heck. I'm trying to actually see if I can go ahead and pull this up right now because you know why not? Show me.
It's ginger beer, guys. Relax.
I'm not sure that they care. You're an adult, I think. Are you an adult?
Yeah, and I was listening to the podcast with Sky the other day.
Oh yeah, with Sky,
You
the
you
young
you just
gal.
made me feel like super old. Where you're like, oh, you're so young, and then like, well, Aaron, you're not quite 30 yet, and I just hit 40 last year. And I'm a grandpa now, so like, I feel
Oh,
super old.
well, yeah, I'll be 30 this year, and every time I think about that, I like my life flashes before my eyes, and I have like a mini midlife crisis.
Dude, this is not midlife anymore. Like,
It's like, what do you mean midlife?
yeah, 30's not midlife. Are you planning on kicking it at 60, bro? Like, you got time left.
Yeah. Well, so you say. So you say. Hold on, let me try to overlay this over everything, and crap, where is that? Let me show that. Publish. Okay, cool. Can you see that?
I can see it.
All right, that's the new M&P Sport Gen 3. And it's got the grip, the pistol grip that I absolutely hate. That actually came standard on some of the Colt guns. I guess the
I
more,
think it still comes standard on most of the Colt guns.
yeah,
Um,
it's horrible.
yeah, this A2 grip. I mean, everybody's gonna take the stock off and the grip off,
Hmm.
so it's kind of like you can't please everybody. So if they put a Magpul grip on there, someone's going to want a Reptilia. If you put a, Reptilia or B5 something on stock in there, someone's going to want to put a Magpul on there.
I mean, it's
Um,
true, but but give me something usable. But I guess if you sell the gun at a low enough price point, it doesn't quite matter. You can be like, just change the grip. It's $30 to change the grip. It's not that. It's not night and day. It's not life changing money. Just put it like that. And
yeah, it's
then
not.
let me stop sharing that real quick so I can do other things with my life. Um, let me check the locals, make sure nobody's asking questions over there, and then I see we actually still have some questions. Cat Kiwi Dog said, so a cat could cack. It's such a weird name for
KSD.
a golly. I'm struggling. Anyways, okay, so a CAC or a KAC could probably go in way worse condition without failing than a PSA, but for most people, it won't matter, is the last word on that.
I agree with that. Speaking as a former KAC owner and a former
How much did
Geisley
you spend on
owner,
that KAC?
we don't want to talk about that because I bought it secondhand in a very depressed market. If I told you how much I bought it for, then how much I sold it for, and what they're going for today, like it's going to make me cry. Because if I would have held
Mm-hmm.
on to it, I
Mm-hmm.
probably could have quadrupled my money.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of came to the same conclusion that like, okay, yeah, I have a KC. It's a very smooth shooting, nice rifle, but a lot of the advantages that come along with the KAC, um, I probably wouldn't reap the benefits of most of it unless I'm a large institutional organization that's fielding thousands of things at a time.
Yeah.
So at that point,
I
the
suppose at
longevity,
that point, not having to spend a lot of time and energy on building out guns and fixing guns and all, all that stuff, like if you can avoid wasting your time on fixing stuff, it'll benefit you.
right? But at the same time, me as a civilian shooter with like one or two copies of the rifle, um, the bolt's going to last, and even if it broke at 10,000 rounds, it's $100, fix for me, right? And like the
Hmm.
barrel's going to last, 10 to 15,000 rounds. I guess depending on firing schedule.
Hmm.
Most people are not going to shoot that many rounds in a lifetime. So that extra engineering and extra, the cost that comes with that engineering, it's great. But again, for a single person, it probably doesn't really matter that much because they can't reap the benefits of that. Like I said, if I was like a military organization and I have 5,000s of these rifles, me being able to increase the bolt life um, by two or threefold, or the barrel life by twofold, those are benefits that I can reap on a larger scale. And that's nothing against the Knights Army. Like, I think they're fantastic rifles. I love the one that I had, but just when it came down to it, um, I can get a similarly smooth shooting um, mid length gas gun that shot, I don't know, 90% as well
Hmm.
for half the cost.
Yeah. And I suppose that's the problem, right? Is regular people, we don't want to spend that much money on guns. Why the heck, are we trying to, right? So, and then again, there's guys who buy $4,000 sets of night vision, and
4,000, that's not a cheap end.
well, 4,000, excuse me, 400, 40,000, 40,000. You get you some quads, you know, and we're rocking. And I think that's great. If you can actually afford that kind of stuff. Somebody said, I don't care what you can afford. If you want to put it on credit card, I'm like, no, no, that's not. That seems like a bad idea. I'm not going to encourage people to mortgage their house, so
Yeah,
they can
kind
afford
of a
a cool
bad
pair of night
idea.
vision. Like I don't encourage. Like you're not going to see me unless they really like just back up the Brinks truck. I guess I don't know. Like everybody has a price, but you're not going to see me endorsing. I was going to say the NRA, but but like DraftKings and all those like sports gambling stuff because I have a moral issue with it. I think sports gambling is just kind of a problem, kind of a blight on society. I mean, some of it's just good fun, but there's a lot of people who are ruining their life due to gambling addictions, and I just don't feel like, you know, contributing to that problem. Now, many people don't
Yeah,
care. Many people don't care, and that's fine. You can endorse
yeah,
them.
I don't care. Like DraftKings, if you guys wanna back the truck up, I'm completely willing. I got a banner for you ready to go. Let's do it.
He said, well, we can get you on the website. It'll be no problem.
No problems.
Sponsored by DraftKings. You know, doing a inadvertent ad for them. Just doing a whole read.
You gotta
Let's.
tip that out. They gotta pay for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Looks like the stream's doing okay on YouTube. Just wanted to make sure that we weren't dying over there because for some reason, I guess last couple streams, the dashboard was like telling me like, "Hey, your bit rate's too low." I'm like, "What? What do you mean? What's a bit rate?" Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I can always get this kicked off. I got a bunch of stuff on my desk here that I
oh, don't do
definitely
that.
get this kicked. So,
Don't do that. Um, Kind of like
just
Surefire cans, they are
like
built to withstand abuse,
no.
but there are a lot better
Okay,
cans,
I'll
cheaper
chill.
cans that aren't literally bomb proof. How do you feel about Surefire suppressors? Because I know they just dropped a new like RSC that apparently doesn't quite do what it's supposed to do.
I think it does exactly what it was supposed to do. It may
Okay.
not do what people want it to do,
Okay.
which is a different situation. This can that the Surefire RC3 can was not made for the civilian market in mind. Typically, when it comes to like government procurement, they will outline a set of specifications of what they want the product to do, and if you want to get selected, then you'll do what they ask you to do, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the product that they came up with.
Mm-hmm.
And if the civilian market, if it says it's not the quietest can, or it's not the most not the least amount of flash that they've ever seen, well, that's not what was asked for when they were designing that can.
Right.
Like
Which,
I said,
let's be fair, right? Like, what did they ask for? The government. And I
the
think that's the
government,
issue with Glock, right? Where Glock has
yes,
so many government contracts, so many military contracts, and eventually they allow government contract guns like the Glock 47 was a border patrol gun or something like that.
right.
And the Glock 49, I think, was a European build. I could be way wrong on that. You correct me. But really they're just putting out old contract guns instead of creating anything very very new, or they're not really innovating like that because they don't really have to. First of all, the civilian
Yeah, they
market
kind of don't.
doesn't really force them to make any changes, and I don't think
There's
they
a guy
really.
out there that's going to buy whatever Glock puts out, no matter what.
I'd put my hand up, but I don't just buy Glocks. Like I think I have like three. It's like that's
I only
kind of
have
a
three
lot.
of them. What are you talking about?
That's kind of a lot. But I've never owned a 17, which I kind of want one now. I'm like, can I get a 17 MOS? I guess I'd get the 47 since it's got the modularity with the 45. And so if I really wanted to play around with stuff, I could. I'm not sure what I
Yeah,
would do
just
with that.
mix and match some pieces here and there.
Just for a video, right?
Yeah,
But you know, I guess um, later after we get done with the YouTube live stream, we can actually go over to locals, and I'll show you some guns. Like that's where we can show guns. Can't show guns on YouTube. Sorry guys on YouTube, no guns. But
yeah. So we can play around with this cool fire trainer.
ooh, yeah, you got to show me that later. Strap House Customs, what up, dude?
Sub
Just hit
Trap
us up.
House.
Just hit us up. I actually met that guy. Nicest dude. It's he was in a video. I'm actually pull up that video. I don't think it's still listed. It was a convention video, but Strap House, he was there, um, aka Fridge. Cool dude. I really appreciated getting a chance to meet him. I think that's the weird thing about doing like influencery stuff is you get a chance to meet people, and sometimes people say your name, whether it's like Aaron or Armed Atlas, whatever, and they'd be like, "Whoa, who said my name? How did you know that name?" You know.
Yeah, well,
So,
I'm not that friendly, so nobody knows who I am.
well,
I'm an enigma
well, you're
wrapped
kind of
in a
hiding,
riddle.
right? You're hiding out on the in the Badlands,
Yeah, I just never wanted to be like the face of the company, you know.
right? Well,
I
it's too
wanted to
late.
build it and have it stand on its own. But I guess I'm on here now talking to you, and
Well, because I consider you a friend, but let's talk about that just like a little bit, right? Obsidian Tactics. You started it under Obsidian Training Group. You started as what, an instructor, or remind me how like why you. I know you started it because you saw some issues in the gun space. You saw issues happening socially. You wanted to make a difference, but kind of like walk me through that again, just for anybody who's watching live.
yeah, just another COVID instructor. There were folks that were out there buying firearms in droves, and I think the quality of firearms instructors that were available at the time, and probably even still today, just ain't what it should be.
Hmm.
NRA Basic or USCCA, if that's all you got underneath your belt, then like you probably don't know a whole lot. And that's not to be mean, but there's stuff that you don't know that you don't know if that's your full background. And even now, like as an instructor, that's I've been training for pretty seriously on off and on and at varying intensities for probably going on 20 years now. We're very close to it. You know, I'm still discovering new things and still learning myself. Um, but we kind of started the Obsidian Training Group as an instructing company to kind of get people into defensive pistol shooting. I thought we did that. We got into a place where a lot of our customers, a lot of our clients were asking us for equipment recommendations, and instead of sending them off to some other company to go spend their money, we decided to be, that resource or that outlet to provide them with the product that they were looking for. Um, which I guess that kind of still continues today. We kind of pride ourselves on having a curated product selection, so we won't just sell anything from anybody. Um, Basically, there's nothing on the website that I wouldn't use myself or I wouldn't, give to my mother, to my cousin, or to my sister, or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Everything's there's at least a minimum level of quality and performance.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking a second to just kind of break that down for people. I could have tried to do it, but it always sounds much better coming from you, right? And if anybody wants to check out his site, there is a QR code towards the top of the screen. I keep moving it around for those who are wondering what's that thing floating around. It's just a QR code. You can basically just go to your phone, screenshot, and or however screenshot button combination, and then take it and put it in your QR reader. Or if you're watching on your TV or something weird like that, just open your camera, QR reader it, and then boom, now you have the website pulled up. You can go take a look at it, shop if you want to, um, buy some buy some tactical gear. If you're not into firearms, that's great. You don't have to be. You can buy some medical because here's the truth. No one's going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you the dirty truth, right? You're actually more likely to encounter a medical incident than you are to be in a self-defense situation that requires a firearm. You'll probably run into a self-defense incident, right? But the one that requires deadly force, you're more likely to run into something that's already kind of deadly. Like myself, when I was at church one day, in my capacity as a security officer of the state, of the security, just security, um, and well, which I am licensed by the great state of Texas, um, and we actually had a lady. She was on crutches, neck brace, chest brace, and all of a sudden somebody is yelling because they need help because she's actually passed out on her crutches as she's walking down the hallway. And I'm like, yo, what the heck? And so, me and my team member, we rush down there. We try to, support her up, prop her up for a second. And then we lower her into a chair, hoping that we don't catch a lawsuit for breaking this lady's back even more. Like it was kind of a nerve wracking situation. I'm not going to lie. Cause like this lady is clearly going through something physical. And you know how if there's somebody has an injury neck or back, they're like, don't move him, don't move him. Like wait for paramedics because they don't want to aggravate the issue, cause even more damage. So that was a concern, but we were able to get through that. Thankfully, I didn't need a tourniquet or anything, but I know people who have had to use tourniquets. Um, those aren't very expensive. You can get them for like I
30
think 30
bucks.
bucks is high. Yeah, 30 bucks is the high. I don't suggest going lower than that because then you're running into cheap Chinese knockoffs. But my question for you, Randy, is how do you avoid that issue? Because I tell people don't buy from Amazon. There's a lot of cheap Chinese knockoffs. You can buy $700 optic for 50 bucks, and it's a cheap Chinese knockoff. It looks pretty good, but it's not. How do you avoid cheap Chinese knockoffs that are going to get you
Uh,
killed?
Buy from authorized sources. That's probably the best way you can do it because Amazon will absolutely sell you like a 5 pack of tourniquets for like 30 bucks. Like that's seems like a really good deal when you realize that there's minimum advertised pricing for these products. So I'm not going to be able to list a tourniquet for less than probably 29 or $28 because I'm an authorized vendor and they do not allow me to sell it for anything less than that. So
Mm-hmm.
we are an authorized distributor for North American Rescue. Um, so if you need some stuff, You can get it from us. Armed Atlas discount code will actually get you free shipping.
Yes. And so people, I try to tell people this as much as I can, but that's actually something that I specifically asked for. I'm like, we could do the 2% discount or whatever, $5 off this and that. But for me personally, the pain point that I have when buying anything is okay, so you go to Amazon, the only thing you got to worry about is the taxes. You go to, any honest person's website, like, we could name other competitors to Obsidian Tactics. They're out there, the names, but you go to those websites and it's plus $10 or plus $12 or whatever it is the going rate is for shipping, right? Um, and I'm like, let's try to be more competitive with the guys that are actually doing damage in the space, the Amazons of the world. Like you can get it at a good competitive price, but at the end of the day, plus $10 at the end of the end of the order. Sometimes that's a deal breaker for people. I mean, it kind of is for me, but I get over it because it's you, right? So I'm like, hey, can we do free shipping? And unfortunately, I think we've talked about this. That means on some products you're not making much margin, right? Because you're going to lose
Or
out on
or any and all, depending on how much it
right.
is.
Well, I wasn't
You know,
trying to put your business out there like that, but
it's
like
okay, man. Like it's not we don't we as a business we can't expect to make money on every single product in every single situation. We understand that.
mhm,
We offer the discount, the free shipping. Because we want to support the podcast and the channel. Um, and that's what it takes to do that. And that's cool. We'll make it up on the back end. Get new
mhm.
customers in here. So,
Yeah.
um,
And my mindset is like, hey, let's do it in such a way that people are just like really happy to keep coming back. Because you can keep buying from Amazon and support Jeff Bezos in his trips to the moon, or whatever killer robot drone AI thing he decides to work on next. Yeah. But or you could support, Randy, Obsidian Tactics, what you guys are doing over there, and really help you guys to build out a truly successful. And you guys have been actually shockingly successful. I'm not trying to like throw any shade. That's no shade.
shocking. Okay, no.
Shockingly, what? But you'd be surprised how far you can go if you just like freaking apply yourself, like show up night and day, and work through the pain. Somebody said, pain is basically the oh man, the gatekeeper to success. It shows up and asks you like, how badly do you really want it? So
I thought you were gonna say that pain is like weakness leaving the body, like the old school Marine Corps
well,
recruiting
yeah. I
commercial.
mean, I've heard that. It's kind of cliche at this point, right? Pain is weakness leaving the body. Sweat is your fat crying. It is. Man, man. So I kind of want to pull up. I think that video is actually privated at this point, but I think I'll just go ahead and unprivate it so people can see it. So studio.
This is the Strap House video.
Yeah, yeah. Where we get to see old Strap House Customs down in Strap House. If you're still here, man, could you let people know where you're from? I think you're from Atlanta. Tell me if I'm wrong. Um, as a business owner, and he said this in the comments, as a business owner with social media being the cheapest marketing, it kind of forces us to try to be popular, quote unquote. LOL, smiley face, you said. Um,
Yeah, well, it's true. I'm gonna go. You know, shoot some tannerite, blow up some dummies.
bro, I
Yeah.
mean, it's what it is, though, right? Because it's like you can. Uh, where is that video? That's unlisted here. And let me just get the link, the share link.
hmm By the way, I'm totally still jealous of your lighting over there, man.
What
Over
was
there
that?
looking jealous of your lighting, man. Over there looking all golden and handsome and stuff. I got this
Oh
harsh
well,
light in my
there's actually
face.
secrets to lighting, right? You gotta try to bring in warmer tones. If you have darker skin, it makes you pop a little bit more. You know, it's
Yeah,
true.
okay. All right,
The
I got you,
lighter
brother.
tones are not as complementary to deep melanin for those who care. I'm not sure who cares, but I care. And so, guys, come on. If you have more questions, be sure to fire those in. I think Strap House said something else. Okay, yep, he's a gunsmith in FFL based in the ATL. So last year I went to the NAGA convention. We had a good time. It was fun. But here, let's see if I can't pull up that video. I'm gonna put this thing in preview. And oh, that's so small. All right, cool. I think I got it. No, I didn't get it.
Oh, no, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm working on it. I swear. I swear I'm not just clicking things to make myself look busy. You ever seen that that meme where it's like, as soon as your boss pulls up, make sure you look busy. Start clicking away at an Excel spreadsheet. Tell
I
me
mean,
you've
yeah,
never
been
done
that
that.
dude.
Tell me you've never done
Me?
that, right?
Me? Never. Nah.
Right. And so, yeah, almost here we go. I'm just stretching it out so you guys can see the video. I'm just gonna overlay it over my face. Yeah, we'll go from there. Hey, can you see it? Can you
I
feel
can
it
see
now,
it.
Mr. Krabs? All right, sweet. Here we go.
This is kind of surreal. It feels
But can you hear it?
Oh, I can definitely hear it, brother. Turn the
All right.
volume down a tad bit.
Yeah,
Just
I'm gonna cut
touch.
it down.
kind of like a dream. I know NAGA has been wanting to do a
How's that?
convention for years, but due to
I dig
C19,
it.
they were not able to. So this is really cool. Let's kind of take a look around, talk to some of these vendors, and see if there's somebody on the floor that we can talk to who can give us a feel of what's going on.
Oh, it's been just really great to see everybody smiling and excited. We've been trying to get this convention together really since the organization started in 2015. So just like Phil said, this is 8 years in the making. So to finally have it here, I think everybody is just really satisfied and, dare I say, blown away from what we've been able to put together.
Just the camaraderie is what I'm enjoying the most.
Hold up.
Seeing this.
There he is, the man, mythical legend. That beard is amazing. Fridge. Let me see if I can get his ad. I can't quite remember. Well, I'm gonna play the video while we do that.
Well, it says refrigerator Q.
Oh, is it Refrigerator Q?
Well, that's what it says on the screen. brother.
Community
Oh,
our-
good deal.
just the camaraderie is what I'm enjoying the most. Seeing this community, our community specifically, come out, and it's been all positive.
It's been amazing. It's been great to know the people who are following like the stuff that we're doing already, like in the courts, in their state, but also just the people from different places that you wouldn't expect, like New Jersey, California, and they're doing great work where they're at right now.
Well, I wanted to be a part. It's historic for me, us being in this Black 2A community. It was important for me to come in and support the inaugural conference, and then network and meet people.
It's been all weekend. You guys have been running people through the certification course. How's that been?
It's been good. To be honest with you, it's one of those things that it's phenomenal to be able to see things come to fruition.
Yeah.
Especially when you really put the work in and actually do the work, right? Then it's rewarding. We had a couple of people that did not make it.
Wow.
But I say that I'm not gonna say their names, but I say that because we want to let people know that there is a golden standard.
We've done the SHOT Shows, we went other places, so now we're doing it here in Atlanta, which is the birthplace of NAGA, and it's great. The energy is great. The participation is great. We've got a bunch of classes and seminars going on in the concourses. We've got all the vendors, the exhibitors. So yeah, I'm loving it, man. It's great.
What you're actually doing is you're putting an investment into your safety. So a lot of the times what we tend to do is we ask a person, what is the purpose for this firearm before we even sell them a firearm?
So I just want to back up because those two from Prime Protection, STL, love those people. Like the wife, super fiery, super fired up, loves what she does, super invested in. Hold on, let me go back to live mode. I'm gonna cover your face. Super invested in making sure that the people who come into her shop are having a prime experience. And husband is just ultra supportive. And I don't know. I'm not trying to say ultra supportive like it's not his thing too, but anytime that she was, she had the mic, like he was like, hey, let's make sure are lined up to win. So that was cool to see. So let's keep it going.
What is the purpose for this firearm before we even sell them a firearm?
All that knowledge, all that technology that we gleaned from making AR-15s and AR-10s, and we poured that into a bolt-action rifle. What that has got us is a factory bolt-action rifle that is legal in PRS production, MSRP right at $24.99, so you can shoot it in your PRS competitions. And it's going to come with a half-minute accuracy guarantee.
Well, people are going to want to know, did you guys finally come out with an SCS for slimline Glocks?
The Pulse has
All
the
right,
ability.
I got to talk about that real quick. Like, honestly, bro.
Which one? What are you talking about? Let's get to it.
The SCS for slim line
really the key
Glocks.
difference
Hold on, let me back up. So I was talking when I was there at the Atlanta show. Let me get this out the way. Where are you? Here we go. When I was in Atlanta at NAGA Convention 2023, I ran up to my guys at HoloSun. They've been really good to me. Just full disclosure, they've sent me a bunch of stuff, and I have no problem with it. I will tell them if their stuff is not good. I will tell you if their stuff is not good. But so far, their stuff has been good. I have no problem telling you it's great.
Yeah, can't hate on them. People like knock them for being a Chinese company, but like, man, they're kind of killing it out here.
They're first of all, they're not just killing it; they're killing us. Like they're killing all the American optics companies, forcing Trijicon to. First of all, who thinks that we would have got the RMR HD or the enclosed RMR if it wasn't for the amount of enclosed and just super crazy optics that they've been pushing out? Like,
not me.
We wouldn't have got it. You see, we still have the Glock 19 from like 40 years ago. Like we have the same guns. They haven't changed. Innovation doesn't happen until there's a competitor really, really pushing you, or until the market speaks up to the point where like you feel it. That's how I feel. You tell me if I'm just way off.
Nah, I agree with you. Trigicon's still out here selling like a dual illuminated ACOG and like, really, bro, that's like 30 years old, man. And like using paint to adjust your brightness on your fiber optic it's not a good look in 2024.
My gosh, fibers. Listen, I really like fiber on the front post, but I understand there's a big trade-off with that. You get the nice illumination on, like we're talking about, like iron sights on a pistol. You get your great illumination on that front sight, but if it breaks, it breaks. You got to go through the trouble of replacing that. So I guess,
speaking of which, mine definitely has left the building. I don't know where my front fiber went to, but it's just a plain black front sight now.
Yeah.
Until I get around to melting another rod in there.
My gosh. So back to the HoloSun thing, where I was like, hey, Josh, because Josh is one of the assistant marketing managers. He's been really cool. And friends of friends, and thankfully, like we're not buddy. Like I'm not calling his cell phone, but we talk from time to time, just about like, hey, what you doing next? Tell me some secrets. And he's like, something's coming. I'm like, tell me. He's like, I can't tell you, but something's coming. And he's like, yeah, we're working on that SCS for Slimline, and we're working on it. And guess what they talked about during SHOT Show, or I guess the week of SHOT Show, right before they launched. So hey guys, here it is. Here it is. Slimline SCS for, I guess they called it the SCS Carry. That's what they called it, which here for it. I don't know if they're all enclosed, but at least one of them is. Is it just one, or is there multiple footprints? I couldn't tell you.
I believe they're all going to be on the K footprint. Just makes sense because everything else in that kind of category is on the K footprint. I just picked up a EPS carry a few weeks ago to put on my 365, and
man, I'm jealous.
I like it.
I'm jealous. I want one, but
well, I know a guy.
He said, "I know a guy." That's awesome. I really want that SCS carry for the for the Glock, because we have a Glock 43X in here that I want to put it on. We actually have some new iron sights that these are all blacked out. I'm not a big fan of blacked out iron sights, but our people at Tyrant CNC, they sent these out. It's blanking on the name. And I was like, oh, okay, sweet. I was like actually expecting them to send it out for the Glock 45 because that's what I need the raised sights for. But I take it. It's free. So it's free to me. Somebody paid for it. You know, somebody died and paid for my sins. It's free to me though, you know. So no, that's not it. I guess it's not on the website. I'm going to their website right now to see what the heck it is, and the website's taking forever to load. And I'm worried that my Google Chrome has crashed because I guess I haven't updated it.
No, their website is usually pretty slow, but I take Hollow Sudden release dates with a grain of salt. They
Right.
got they got they got plenty of times I've been talking to like Lewis at like NRA annual meeting, and like, you know, he's a guy he would know. So yeah, these are gonna be coming. They'll be in distribution by July, and then July comes, and then nothing. So I'll wait for them when they're available. We'll have them on the site.
Yeah.
I promise you.
No, I feel you on that. Well, at least I hope that's the case. Hold on, let me just set this to preview, and then here I went ahead and put that on the website. I don't see the EP the other carries on here. Maybe I'm just blind. You guys tell me if I'm just blind. But we actually got the SCS PDP, and we have that on a Walther PDP. It's really, really good. I actually very much recommend it. I know nothing about the this
VP9?
one or this one, the M&P2 or the VP9. I mean, obviously they're going to be somewhat similar, but at the end of the day, their designs are slightly different, and you can get slightly different results when you have different SKUs, you know. And somebody said that the SCS for MOS, the window feels kind of small. That's what I heard. I don't know.
With MOS?
Yeah. Maybe they came from like a what do they call it? The comp. Let's go to the reflex sights. What is a reflex sight, first of all?
Just reflexive sight. Throw it in your line of sight and press trigger.
Right. I've run the aims. I have that on my AR right now. We can look at that later. Speaking of this, have you actually taken a look at one of these? I don't know if it's showing up on the thing. No, it's not showing up. Hold on.
Which the DRSs?
The DRS, yeah.
No, I haven't had hands on with them yet. Still waiting for them to become available through my distribution, but you know, once they're available, we'll have them up there. It seems like a kind of a cool little thing to play with. I know not everybody's into digital night vision, but
yeah, like I get there's concerns just with everything, but it's cool stuff, man. Like the tech is just cool. And that's half the battle.
Affordable. It's affordable.
Yeah, I think what's it like $1,200 or something like that. I think either it's $1,200 for like influencers or it's actually $1,200. Let me see if I can't pull up the website or see if it's going to actually load. Yeah, it's like less than $1,200, and I think I could personally get it for a little bit cheaper, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to send it one.
I know a guy. You know.
You said you know a guy. What? Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. Zoom enhance. Yeah, less than $1,200, you get the digital night vision, and it's so sick, bro. Like I've tried it. I'm not sure. Like I think Lucas Botkin has a video testing it out. Actually,
I would be surprised if he didn't at some point.
Yeah, well, he was at like SHOT Show or something like that. What's his name? T-Rex Arms.
Oh, so just so you guys know, the DRS night vision, the minimum advertised price is like right at 1K.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's pretty
And
cool.
yeah, once we
That's
have
pretty
them, we'll
cool.
have them listed at that price. So
Is that? I think they said they're launching those like in a week or so, right? Or is has the week already passed? Is it already out? I don't even
I,
know.
at least one person I know of actually already has one in hand.
Okay. Is
He's
his
running
name
around
start with S and end with
taking
Y?
video. It does not.
Okay. All right. Fair. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's where did it go? I can't find it. Oh well, it doesn't exist. If I can't find it, it doesn't exist. That's the rule.
Basically.
All right. Oh man. So I'm pulling up so we're gonna be live here for a little bit longer. And then hey, woman who carry. What up, y'all? What up, woman who carry? What up, Chantal or Chantel? How do you say it? Am I saying it wrong? And here's that video on the PSA. I don't think I actually got all the way through it. Here I'm talking about the video, and like I still have a ways to go.
Oh well, yeah, it's a good video. The homie Phil from over at Bear Arms made an appearance. He actually assembled our uppers for us a couple years ago for the limited series that we did. So,
The Atlatl?
uh, say again?
You talking about the Atlatl rifle? Did I
Yeah,
say it wrong?
Atlatl, yeah.
I'm about to say, bro, like you paused, like I said it
I
wrong.
said
I'm like,
a lotto. Like,
no,
I was trying, that's
Atlatl.
like ice cream sounds delicious.
Let me try to. I can't. But I can't. Huh. Let me see. I can't figure out the way my monitors are set up. Like I turned off one of them, and so like my whole setup is like backwards. So I gotta like because I can't like move the screens.
Aaron, hey, I need you to get it together, brother.
Right.
Come on, bro. Deep breath. You got it.
It was just the way I said it was. Why are you freaking out on me? I'm so annoyed because it. Okay.
I wish there was a beer now. We're just struggling with with this video real quick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's not it.
Too many windows open.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right, we'll just run it like this.
There we go.
Schedule we're doing. Seeing
Okay, so this is when it starts acting up.
We're a couple mags shy of a 5. Super inconsistent.
This is the PSA $400 kit. He starts running it on single.
Super inconsistent ejection. Yeah, I would say we're probably getting close to the ejector being worn out. We're just at about 5K right now, so that makes sense. We're at 4,800, or excuse me, 4,900. We're a couple mags shy of a 5K, so that makes sense to me. This is about, especially at the firing schedule we're doing.
All right, question. And somebody, can y'all please help me answer this? Does the homie Grand Thumb, does he sound stuffy literally all the time nowadays?
I don't watch enough of his videos.
Right.
To tell you the truth of that or not.
Well, every other time I see him on like Instagram or something like that, he's just like, you know, like, bro, like, are you struggling with the allergies? I know you moved.
He's out there. I mean, I struggle with allergies today. Like
I get it. Like my
the
whole throat. Like
yeah.
you might hear me going, like doing all the throat sounds here, like during the stream. I get it.
No, don't do that, please.
I'm gonna hit. Hold on, I'm gonna just hit the mute button.
Thanks for that, by the way.
Huh?
I said thanks for that, by the way.
Right. But man, he said, "What's popping?" Yeah, Chantel, woman who carry. Because Chantel was saying hi to Strap House Customs. Anyways, stop laughing at me and my clearing of the throat.
In the extractor, that's par for the course, dude. Bolts are a replaceable item. So I think this is as simple as replacing the extractor and continuing the test. This isn't favoring the weapon. Extractors are cheap, and we usually keep them on our kit anyhow because extractors wear out, guys. So after we had that little failure there.
Okay, so he's pretty clearly saying like, hey, extractor went out, but it's no big deal, no biggie. 5,000 rounds, suppressed full auto, no biggie. Extractor failed, or things are falling apart on the gun. In your professional opinion, what's he on?
No, I think for that particular component, extractor springs, they do wear out.
Mm-hmm.
And it typically will happen within the 5 to 7,000 round mark. So that's just maintenance. Like, people need to understand that firearms they're not like infinitely, enhanced pieces of equipment. They do require
Mm-hmm.
maintenance. Some things wear out, like the gas rings.
Mm-hmm.
Those gas rings went like super early though. Those should not have been, um, toast, that early in the firing schedule.
Right.
The extractor springs went out, looks like at about the right time. The extractor itself, I think, was still good. I mean, it didn't wear off or shear off the extractor hook or anything like that. Just the spring
Mm-hmm.
needed to be replaced, which that's normal.
Fair.
Yeah, if you get further into the video, when they get the Phil from Bear Arms in there, he starts breaking down, starts gauging stuff, and it comes to find out that the carrier itself was machined too large. That's why you started having um, a lot of gas blow by past the rings, and it started having you know, I guess signs of leaking gas.
Mm.
You know,
To me, that's really interesting because reality is, I believe they sent him that gun. So they really could have taken a look at it and make sure that, hey, everything's up to spec the way we like it. Nothing, QC it twice, right? But they sent him an extractor that was machined too large.
no, it was the carrier itself. The extractor was fine, but the actual the carrier
Sorry, the
in the bolt
BCG.
carrier group, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're right.
But I don't know if that they machine all their own carriers though.
Okay.
The dirty not so secret in the AR industry is that like almost nobody machines or manufactures all the components of their rifles in house.
Yeah.
If you think of that, like there's a ton of different manufacturing processes, and this is coming from a foreign manufacturing, guy. There's a lot of processes that it would take a very large industrial manufacturing organization to manufacture all those components under one roof.
Hmm.
And if they did that, they would not be able to survive making only rifles. It would have to be a company that would just make whatever you send to them as far as prints go. We're talking about there's forging, there's machining, there's chrome lining, which is like a huge, dirty industrial thing. There's phosphating, there's assembly, there's winding springs, there's casting of components. There's a lot of different processes that goes into that, and I don't know if anybody does it all under one roof. Somebody might do most of it, but I guarantee you, your favorite manufacturer is probably subcontracting at least some portion of their componentry. And I know this because I contract the same manufacturers that they're using. So I know where you're getting your bulk carrier groups from. I know where you're getting your fire
I
control
see
groups
you when
from.
you're sleeping.
I know where you're getting your barrels from. I know who's doing your receivers, and it's just is what it is. There's a ton of overlap and intrigue in the industry.
Hmm.
People would be surprised who's actually making what for who.
Yeah, fair. And so that's when Rostick was on, we briefly mentioned that, but somebody was saying like it's pretty much like the same five guys who are kind of doing all the like the lowers in America or something like that. I'm like, that's crazy. So if all they would have to do is find a way to shut down those five production plants and third thumb up. Good evening. Hey, what up, gun websites? appreciate the work that you do for this community, man. Thank you for being here. Um, and yeah, so back to what I was saying is, if you really wanted to like put a dent in the market, you would have to shut down those fireplaces. But also, those fireplaces have government police contracts, so I'm not sure that they will fully shut down.
I mean, we talk about the forges though.
Forges, okay,
And there's more forges out there than those main ones. Those just the biggest ones that actually supply a lot of the industry. You can go
right,
to some smaller forge, and if even if you shut down all the forges, you can just go to doing billet receivers if you really wanted to. Um, I said you can't stop manufacturing. Like these things are. I mean, they're relatively simple machines, right? They have
Mhm.
not changed much in over 100 years. Like we're still using, you know, firing bullets through metal tubes. It's not like rocket science at this point.
Right.
Um,
Throwing stones just faster. Yeah,
yes, super fast. Um, but yeah, I think the 3D printing thing is going to be super interesting for firearms manufacturing in the future. The advanced polymers that people are using,
yeah.
carbon fiber materials. Um,
Wasn't there a
this new
suppressor that they basically 3D printed with metal, w- with some sort of, I forget the name of that process. Let me see if I can pull it up.
DMLS, direct metal laser sintering. There's quite a few. Well, I would say quite a few, but there's more than probably three or four companies that are currently using 3D printing or DMLS printing for their suppressors. Because I bought one. I don't have it in my hands yet, but I did go out and
Did you get that from
pay
our homie? What's his name?
code it. Got it from
Coded
Ernie over Coding
Ernie,
Arms.
over at Coded.
Yeah.
Yeah, support the homies. All right, let me see if I can't pull up the one that I specifically was talking about was the Huxworks Flow
Uh,
556K. You know, sounds like, you know, it's super effective. Only $1,300, which is a little bit more expensive than some of them. Apparently, there were some issues with that. I guess the overall design, and I guess it's harder to clean or something like that. Or once it goes, it goes. I mean, like you said, these are manufactured items, and eventually they're going to go. Eventually, but
yeah. It's one of those things where 3D printing opens up a lot of, um, I guess, geometry that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get through normal machine or welded baffle systems. But it also means some of that geometry might actually trap a lot of
mm,
fouling and carbon in it.
right.
Um, but that was probably wasn't part of the. I think this probably the Flow 556K, if I remember correctly, was actually, you know, manufactured for government contracts. And
So calm.
yeah, cleaning the suppressors what may not have been part of the original design criteria. When you're building or manufacturing stuff for large organizations like military or law enforcement, these things are just they're consumables.
Hmm.
Like you use it up, it gets full or fouled or it gets damaged, whatever, and they cut it up and get a new one.
Right.
Not so easy for us on the civilian side of things, where we're buying these suppressors basically for life. Um, so it's a different set of design criteria than what we were used to. Kind of going back like the Surefire RC3 thing, like they're not made for us guys. So like we can't hold it to, I guess, civilian standards if it wasn't designed and intended for us for use. There's different use cases for these things.
Yeah. I think we actually had a question in from gun websites.
Mhm.
And what do you think will happen to the price of suppressors once the NFA is repealed? If the NFA is repealed, praise be to God if the NFA is repealed. Like, I will seriously do a whole praise dance, and I'm not very expressive like that. So, uh, if and
Well,
when
I'll do it with
NFA is
you.
repealed, do you think suppressor price will go down? I say yes, because, supply and demand, availability. I don't think suppressor technology is necessarily super exciting, Like,
Oh,
why
I think
wouldn't it go
we're
down?
in a new golden age of suppressors now that 3D printing has come online.
I mean,
But as far as
that,
pricing,
yes.
I think people are going to continue to push the envelope when it comes to design and materials.
Mhm.
So like your, I guess, basic low end, baffle stack suppressor is probably going to go down on in pricing, but on the higher end, ultra high performance end of things, things may continue to get more expensive. Um, just because that's the way things going. Like the one that I got the Spectre Cat WV. That was not a cheap suppressor. I got the titanium version of it.
Mhm.
Um, so those people that are on the bleeding edge of the technology, they're kind of learning a lot about suppressors. Like before, there was like
Yeah.
a whole lot of good data set on how to actually design these things. You probably just stack some baffles together, and there you go. For the longest time,
Yeah.
suppressor technology didn't evolve for like 40 years until like very recently.
Well, it's funny because I was listening to Joe Rogan and director Snyder, who did the Justice League movies and whatnot before
Mhm.
they decided to transition out of that series. And they were talking about bodybuilding, and they're like, yeah, so the bodybuilding world is funny because there's a lot of guys who are on the bleeding edge of death talking about how they're loading up on this and that, and how much dosage can we get. If we go 4 times the dosage, can we still live? How dehydrated can we get before we and show off all our muscles before we die. And so it's kind of like pushing the medical envelope on what's possible to do to the human form before you break, which I find that to be interesting. Not super related to what we're talking about, except in the sense of what you were talking about, where it's like certain companies and certain guys doing a thing and really being able to push the envelope in a way that other people like us, we're not necessarily super concerned about, like, oh, can we do this and this and that? We're just like, oh, suppressor, it does it work? Okay, it works. And for me, I see, oh, suppressor, that thing after like 17 rounds is smoking. It's smoking. Like this thing gets hot, depending on your suppression, what kind of tech you're working with.
Right.
But but what I would like to see, just for so we can just put it out there, is a suppressor that you can actually put a few mags through and still touch it and it'd be fine. That's my dream. And I don't know if we got to silicone coat that baby or what. I just don't want to burn myself thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. But there's a transfer of heat going on. Got to figure out some way to mitigate currently known physics, I suppose.
Yeah.
With some of the alien technology metals that we got from Area 51, we can probably use to make suppressors.
Yeah, I mean, just all we got to do is crash one more asteroid and find a way to get that metal that's cold to the touch, even when it's hot. You know?
Bro, they probably already have it. They don't want to know about it.
Yeah,
It's deep underground in a bunker in Nevada. Who knows?
yeah. Um, oh, Burnt Nugget, Burnt Nugget, aka Scout. He said I've been working on my praise dance for years, and he also said this is what I like to see on the internet: B2A talking future tech. Yeah, Family Ties 2A. You know who that is. Okay, I'm here. The party can start. And he also said, always buy suppressor wrap. I recommend burn proof gear. Miami, I like what I have. Yeah, he's got some suppressor stuff and he wraps his. So let's ask him. Of course, he can chime in if he'd like to. But with the suppressor wraps, like we talk about that, it can save your leg. There's a lot of guys who don't use them and have burns on their legs. Um, do you feel that they are very effective in kind of delaying some of that heat transfer? Like, are you going to be okay, or is it just kind of like a little bit of help? Like, do you use a wrap? First of all, do you use a wrap? Have you ever used a wrap?
I don't have experience with any wraps because I haven't actually got a chance to put hands on my suppressor yet because
Oh, because
NFA
it's still.
NFA says like nah, you can't have it. It's a forbidden popsicle. Um, but
Thou shalt not
it
eat the
makes
forbidden
sense.
popsicle.
Like dealing with I used to be super into cars, so I used to be able to like wrap like headers or exhaust manifolds to
Mhm.
kind of retain heat to keep you from burning yourself or burning up stuff inside the engine. So it makes sense from like a common sense perspective to me, but
Yeah.
I guess it really depends on what the material's made out of, how well it attaches, and but I think it, sounds like it probably would work.
Hmm.
I want to see. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I want to see suppression that cool off faster, and I want to see more integrally suppressed barrels. Um,
Yes, I love those. Like I went to an event and I saw somebody who was working on integrally. How do you say it? The suppressor inside the rail, and I just love that. I love that. That just makes me happy. I'm like, oh, just a little. It only extends out a little bit. That's awesome.
yeah, it's
That's
part of the barrel, bro.
right. And then there was another guy who had, I think he had some sort of 3D printed suppressor, you know, and then he had it was full auto. That was just so cool. Shooting full auto suppressed, nothing like it. Like the levels of coolness just radiating from the gun. It's almost like the Ark of the Covenant, just like less holy. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's being jaded, but like I'm not interested in full auto unless it's belt fed.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I mean you run out really quick, right? I was shooting a CZ Scorpion full auto. It had the full auto conversion, and like unfortunately they only had like the 15 round mags, which is a shame. It is a crime because it goes. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, let's keep you guys from burning up all their ammo.
Right. I mean, I would have paid for it. Like, hey, let me get two
Like
three boxes.
here's a 20. Give me another couple sticks.
Right. Here's Full Metal Sensei. He's a friend of the show. He's been on the podcast. His episode I felt like is one of our best episodes ever, where we talked
Yeah, I
about the
watched it.
2A
Good
industry.
show.
I felt it was good. We need you to come back on and continue to illuminate us. I'm not saying talk smack on anybody, but illuminate us on the things that we need to
Talk
know.
smack.
Talk a little smack. Come on, let's
Talk a
go.
little smack. Come on, part two. Let's go.
Let's go. And then Burnt Nugget said two things: dampening the heat and also Mirage Heatwave signature for the hot can. Okay, so if you're concerned about the heat signature, I suppose a wrap would be very good, but also the Mirage. If you're shooting any sort of distance, there's going to be some heat Mirage that comes up. That makes sense that you'd want to kind of dissipate some of that or mitigate that. But are people really concerned about a heat signature if we're not shooting under night vision and stuff like that? Or if you're not concerned about somebody else with night vision? Are you?
Scout probably is. If anybody is, it's that
Yeah.
guy.
Stop. Don't talk about him like he's a crazy war vet.
Keeping it real.
No, but he's a G. He's actually, like, honestly, and this is my shout out to Scout. Of all the people who've supported me, he's like top 3, and my wife is included in that list of people who have really done awesome stuff for me in this channel to make sure that I'm good. Even just a phone call, right? Being available for a phone call means a lot. So I'm glad that when it was time for us to support him with this show and try to let people know, like, hey, he was going through something where he had his motorcycle accident. I'm glad we were able to talk about that and, share that information out. And, my only regret is we didn't do it more. So that's
Yeah, Scout's the MF man.
yeah.
Love that
He's that
guy.
dude. He's that dude.
Solid dude. Like if you can't have him in your circle, you're probably in pretty good company.
Right.
Shout out to the homie, dude.
Shout out to
We
the
appreciate
homie.
you, man.
Definitely. I hope you heard that. I hope you're still here. You didn't decide to put the phone down and go tend to your family like a responsible human, right? So
I'm ignoring mine right now. I can't get out of my face.
right. No, my
Go to your
actually
room.
before we got started, because I got little kids, and my kids they wanted to sit with me on the couch, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the dad thing. I'm gonna sit here, and then I was sitting with my older girl, and then the younger one walks up and he's just like, we need to talk. You need to put her down, and I need to sit with you. I was just like, no. There's enough lap for everybody, guys. Come on. Sounds weird. I swear it's not.
Pause.
Chill. It's kids. We're talking about kids. I can do both when it's in. He said, in regards to our, did he run off to go tend to his family? He said, I can do both when it's Aaron and Randy on. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you being here, supporting us, and, you know, just saying hi. He said he did a little praise dance.
Praise dances, plural.
little praise dances. He threw on the music. Dun, 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 dun. He just put on his church shoes, his gaiters, went to work. So, man, do you have anything that you're working on? Because, you know, talking about for those who don't know, that little QR code will take you straight to his website if you want to just test it out. Somebody should test it out and let me know if it actually works. First of all, like, let me know if it actually works. I'll be curious to know. That said, are you working on anything cool that people should know about? Are you putting out a configurator on your website? That was my suggestion.
It was your suggestion?
Yeah. So if you ever see a configurator on his website, that was me. So what are you doing? Like, what are you working on? Are you streamlining processes? Are you making things easier to attain? Like, are you adding in? What are you doing?
We're adding new product all the time, especially like after SHOT Show, all that stuff starts coming online. We've been pushing that stuff as it becomes available. Working on, believe it or not, merchandise. It's been like 3 years. We haven't actually put out like any type of merch. Um, we wanted to do something special for the ladies to begin with. Um, Mostly because a lot of the gun industry kind of apparel is pretty cringe. And I think the women kind of get stuck with just leftovers, just unisex size, um, stuff that's just wearing a size small, but it's not like cut for women. It's not sized appropriately for women. So we have some women specific stuff that we come out with. Stephanie got I guess a sample shirt not too long ago. Supposed to let me know some feedback on that one. We sent out a couple other shirts to for some folks online to kind of get some feedback on those. So hopefully those will be coming online pretty soon. As far as the men's stuff, we're doing some shirts I think that are going to be more appropriately for concealed carry. I think just kind of the industry in general kind of has tended to do like merchandise on the like very the very thin like kind of athletic kind of shirts like the
Yeah.
4.3 ounce poly
Mhm.
cotton blend kind of stuff. That stuff that immediately wears through from your rear side if you carry appendix. Everybody's around here with like the little pinholes in the front of the shirt.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about here. Don't front.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we're doing like a heavier weight shirt that has a little bit more room in the body to help you conceal a little bit better. A lot of folks are running around with guns that are covered but not necessarily concealed just because you're wearing that size medium t-shirt. We
Yeah.
want to try to do something that'll give them a little bit of room in the body without being super oversized, but also using a heavyweight material that can kind of withstand being rubbed up against the that rear sight or the corner of your optic that'll put holes in your shirt too.
Well,
So look out for that pretty soon.
I can appreciate, move that around a little bit. I can appreciate you going through all the trouble to make sure that we have something comfortable to wear. I actually got a box in today from a company that supported the show a ton. Um, Otis, they sent stuff to give away to you guys. They've every time I see them at events, they always give me hugs. That's like the most important thing. Like, if you want to win, just give me that
Yes.
good Christian side hug. I'm gonna be so happy, Um, and I can appreciate getting a box with a hoodie in it today. I think you recently asked me for a t-shirt size, so I'm expecting a box, like, low key. Like, if it doesn't come, I'm gonna be so sad.
No, it's something's coming. Something's coming.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
working on finalizing designs. We're going to get them in limited production and send them out to you guys. You guys can
I
play
appreciate
around
that.
with them and tell me, hey, Randy, this sucks, or like, yo, this is dope, and you
Yeah.
know, we'll see how it goes.
I really loved, I still have it actually, my Obsidian training group hoodie back before the rebrand. And the only reason I don't wear it more is because it's not rebranded. And also, it was like, was it a size small? And I've kind of put on a little weight even since then. But that's all you had. So I was like, shoot, just send it, bro. I want it. And it was so comfortable, bro. Like, where did you, how did you know to pick that specific material setup or that blank? Because, hoodies are blanks usually. I don't think you're building the textile yourself.
No, I'm absolutely not doing that, dude. If I tell you like the amount of time and money and effort we put into like selecting garments, um, my biggest fear is putting out something with our name on it. That sucks.
Hmm.
So uh, that hoodie, I probably bought 500 or 600 bucks worth of hoodies, and this is hoodies at wholesale pricing, so that's a lot of hoodies. And I kind of pass them around to my entire family. So like one for my wife, one for my son, one for the other son, one for me, gave some to my niece, to my sister, to my mom. Like, okay, well, you guys take these hoodies, you guys wear them around, you guys wash them, let me know what you think about them. And we just kind of settled on that hoodie. It was kind of a good medium weight. It was soft on the inside, smooth on the outside. It didn't shrink a whole lot. That's another issue that I kind of had with some of the
Hmm.
even the more expensive 100% cotton hoodies, like once you wash it and dry it, like it shrinks like a whole full size. And it's
Right.
kind of yeah, it's kind of hard to sell that product to somebody and they wash it and like, oh, I can't wear this anymore because it doesn't fit anymore.
Well, not
And
beyond
have it
just not really fitting super well. If you carry a gun like me, you're gonna want clothes that fit the way they're supposed to fit. And so
right.
even when no matter what, I'm always like, all right, shoot me the size up, the XXL, and then it'll shrink out, it'll shrink down a little bit, and it'll still kind of fit me the way I want it to, where I can carry a bigger gun and not feel like, my God, like, does it look like I have a tumor in my hip? So
Okay. Do you want to revise your shirt size, man? Because the ones I got, they're actually garment washed, so they should not shrink at all when you get it.
nah, we're rocking with that one.
Listen,
We're
okay, we're
rocking.
rock with the same size. All
We're
right, I
rocking with the
got you.
same size. It'll look like a dress on me, but it'll be okay.
Also, Scott, if
Oh
you're still
man,
on here, send me your shirt size, dude. I forgot to send you a message about that.
wait, who did you say?
The Scout, Burnt Nugget.
Oh, he
Let
he
me
just said he listen. He just said, Randy, I want the customer price. So he said he wants to pay for it.
He's not paying for this. He's not paying for it. I already
Okay,
I already have your address, bro. I know where to send it. You're good. You've done enough.
well, you said we getting two X's out here, sir. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Um, so he said he's an XL. Of course, he is a skinny man. When I say skinny, he's not spindly, but he's slim.
I wouldn't call that dude skinny.
I wouldn't call him skinny. Yeah, I'll revise my statement. Not skinny, fit,
Medium built but tall.
fit, tall,
Well,
fit man,
taller than me. Everybody's taller than me though.
tall, fit man. He said he's an XL. So I guess you're getting a shirt, buddy.
Gotcha.
Congratulations.
All right, you're getting a shirt, whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or he said whether you like it or not, son. Oh man, we'll probably rock it on here for like 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna go over to locals because I want to show guns. Guys, if you want to join me on locals, while we're talking, I'm gonna pull a code so you guys can spend like a month on there for free. And you don't have to worry about it. If you want to cancel after that, I don't care. Like I just want you guys to enjoy the content for real. That's I guess the cool part about running this and having the ability to generate codes is you can actually use the code more than once. Like in fact, I don't think I have a limit on it. I don't think I do. It may be like a couple times. So if you just want to go back and use the same code and just keep getting free, um, I guess access to the exclusive content that I drop from time to time, do it. I don't care. Like I really don't care. I just want you to be able to get the content and enjoy it. Here. So I'm gonna post the code here and I'm gonna pin it. Somebody comment. And so it's in there. It's in there. And I'm not sure that you guys can actually access it from there, but I'm gonna also post it on the screens just because it's like that.
It'd be that way sometimes, man.
It do be that
But
way sometimes.
over on the local stream, we can show guns and not get kicked off because I want to play around
Right.
with this cool fire trainer that I got.
Yeah, I
And
want you. I want people to see that. It's unfortunate that we can't show guns on the YouTube side because somebody decided that they wanted to ruin it for everybody. they're having a crisis clearly. So I understand like crisis, like we gotta fix it, but it's been an issue for a little while. So they're like, no more guns.
Yeah.
So
Well,
one day I might have
one
a gun
crisis over
mounted.
here is that my dry fire is trash, and I gotta get better.
Does it track your motion and stuff, or
No, I can track my dot better than this one. We'll talk about it when we get over there. I know. I think
okay?
the homie Devin over at Parallel Defense did a
Hmm.
good review on this thing, but
Oh, that
I'm
that
just
is a
not
cool
getting
file.
around to it.
I think I asked you about that earlier, and I wasn't quite sure. I wasn't quite sure if it was the cool fire, but it is the cool
Yeah,
fire. Hey, okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
pin this. Boom, pin to the top. armedatlas.locals.com/support/promo/free. Or if you're just on the website and you go to the support button, just go to the like armedatlas.locals.com, go to the top, and then just hit like support, and it'll give you the option like punch in the free, um, the free. Hold on. So, bro, how's the wife?
Oh, she's good. She's been in the gym, trying to get swole.
Trying to get swole. Shoot, my wife too. Hold on. All right, sweet. So this is I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Hold on. Where are we at? Back to live, publish live, and here. This is what happens when you just like join or you just log in armedatlas.locals.com. This is like the landing page. And so make sure you're over there because we're going to show some guns. I don't want you guys to be there. So it's like, hey, man, you want some crack? Here we go. I got to see what this looks like on this side. I've never actually gone through this side. Okay, so you got to create the account first, and then you can log in and do your thing. But once, all right, we're done with that. Once you create your account, create your free account, hop over there. I'm logged in into the locals. Okay, so looks like we're gonna have to go ahead and end it here. Homie's logged into the locals already. We
All right,
got to go.
meet us over there, guys. We're going to do cool stuff now.
All right, cool. Now, for those who are on this side, you want to do a quick little sign off for the homies on this side who are still over here, who aren't going to travel over and join us on my exclusive look. I'm just going on. Go ahead, man.
Well, yeah. Well, they should definitely go hop over to the stream on local, especially it's going to be free. But if you're not going to do that, check us out at obsidiantactics.com. Follow us on Instagram, Obsidian Tactics, Facebook, Obsidian Tactics. We're out here.
Yeah.
See you guys on the other side. Have a
And
good
there
night.
is a QR code right under his chin to his left side. What looks like my left, maybe your right. Just go ahead and screenshot that, put that into your QR reader, or take your significant other's phone and just scan it real
Right
quick,
there.
hop over, get free
I
shipping,
can't point to it.
pick up something cheap, like pick up something that's not super expensive if you don't feel like dropping a bunch of money on stuff that you definitely need. But either way, make sure you're supporting people who support what I do here and support yourself, because ultimately at the end of the day, you're selling a lot of life-saving gear, and like why the heck would you not support something like that? Like that makes sense to me, and there's none of it's knockoffs. Anyways.